The fifth worst military blunder of Adolf Hitler is that he thought he knew what he was doing, and subsequently meddled in the decisions and operations of the Wehrmacht to such a degree it culminated in him becoming supreme commander. Hitler clearly didn't know what he was doing, as evidenced by his ridiculous obsession with conquering Stalingrad and his boneheaded decision to refuse to allow Paulus to withdraw before Soviet encirclement. This was also evidenced by his boneheaded stop order at Dunkirk and his paranoid distrust of the Wehrmacht's generals. The fourth worst military blunder of Hitler is that he failed to eventuate nuclear weapons for Germany before anyone else, partly caused by his driving away of the Jews, which diminished the pool of knowledge on such matters. If the Nazis had developed the atomic bomb, they would have likely won the war. The third worst military blunder of Adolf Hitler is that he chose horrible partners for the war. Italy was a known weak fighting force and hadn't seen major military glory since perhaps the days of ancient Rome. Japan offered virtually no help or support since they were so far away. Compare that to who he was fighting in what would become the lone superpowers after the war and what at the time was still an India-having British Empire. The second worst military blunder of Adolf Hitler is that he was too racist and let his violent racist agenda waste too much time, material, and manpower. Trains, personnel, gasoline, and other resources were diverted to killing the Jews and other undesirables according to the Nazis, and this obviously could have been better appropriated towards the war effort. Hitler and the Nazis were so disgustingly racist they kept the extermination camp trains going almost to the very end, even when gasoline and manpower were extremely limited and desperately needed elsewhere. And the worst military blunder of Adolf Hitler was starting the war at all. It is the height of stupidity to think that a nation with the relatively small population of Germany could in effect conquer the industrialized world, yet Hitler was idiotic enough to think it could. He found out otherwise.